in a world of relentless static. I'm drowning in the chaos it creates in my mind, desperate for a path through the haze. Every stroke of the pen, a futile attempt to untangle the mess my life has become. He hated this time of night, detested the flickering white light and persistent hissing drone the TV made when the channels had nothing more to offer. Why hadn't he turned it off hours ago? He picked the pen back up, trying to will the words into the ink that would help put this waking nightmare to bed. "I can't believe you left me like this." He snatched up the note, crushing the sentiment before it formed, dropping it to the floor with the others, a black and white paper mountain of unfulfilled promises and broken dreams. Tears blotched the paper, absorbing his sorrows. The pen was meant to be his therapy, but the process was killing him. "You meant everything to me. Why did you have to?" He threw the pen against the wall in frustration. "I can't keep this up," he sobbed in confession. "Why can't I think straight?" Fighting back emotion, he inhaled deeply, his fingers tracing the cool metal of his wedding ring. So many shared memories and emotions bound up in a piece of overpriced silver. He took it off, kissed it goodbye, whispering, "I love you, but I need to move on." Placing it in an envelope, he tucked it into his breast pocket but didn't want to let go. "I'll bury it in our spot in the woods," he thought. She wouldn't mind if it never contained a note. After all, it's what first attracted her to him, his inability with words. Approaching the old vinyl record player, he hit play. A second of static, and the music scratched into life. Gordon Haskell's "How Wonderful You Are" filled the empty room. His memory replayed their first meeting in the bar, as this song played in the background, above the hum of people enjoying life. Laughing aloud, he recalled their conversation stalling before it had even started. As true to form, he'd struggled for something funny and interesting to say as the lyrics, "I've always struggled with the art of conversation," played with fate-inspired timing. She'd laughed gently, and a drop of red wine escaped her lips, falling to stain her white dress. They'd laughed together, bonding in the moment. He lifted the stylus, and the music scratched out of existence. The memory vanished, just like she had. Grabbing his jacket, he tried to shake the feeling of déjà vu as he fled the room in the painful memories. He'd go out and look for her again, like he had before. Sure, those idiot cops had already scoured the woods with local search parties, but people always turned up in the most unexpected of places, alive and well to tell their stories and resume their lives, even if it had been 6 months, right? Stepping out into the rain-drenched night, he could feel anger begin to roil within him again. He pocketed the flashlight and headed to the car. Cold air crept up his spine as he blasted the aircon and adjusted the radio dial till the crackling static became distinctive voice. "Another person has mysteriously disappeared while hiking in the Forest of Dean. This is the 4th disappearance in the last 6 months. As yet, no bodies have been recovered. Police believe a serial killer is operating in the area. We strongly urge the public not to enter the forest alone after dark." Man, I could eat a... The passing thought insinuated itself into his brain. His hand slammed against the dash. Why can't I think clearly? Flicking off the radio, he popped the glove box open, taking out the gleaming kitchen knife. "I'll find him. I'll wait for him. I'll kill him," he thought. The speedometer read 70, the wipers going faster, his heart faster still. She should never have gone out that evening. Knew I hadn't been feeling well and couldn't go with her. Knew there'd been strange sightings and occurrences in the wood, even after I'd told her that crazed dog had bit me. Come to think of it, I feel like I did that day 6 months ago. Maybe I should turn back. Teeth clenching, grimacing, pain shooting up his arm from the bite mark. No! Focus. I'll kill him, whoever took her. Then I'll go back home. Crippling pains in his stomach, clawing their way up behind his eyeballs. The car swerves. Why do I always feel like this when the moon's out? It was a fleeting thought as his body hair began to tingle irritatingly, growing longer, thicker. Why am I always drawn to these damn woods? Tires screech to a halt as the car mounts the curb, hits the fence. No, I'll find her first, then I'll eat him. I'll rip the fucker apart. his thoughts becoming more animalistic, disjointed, just as the joints of his limbs felt they were going to separate and burst apart with a spray of synovial fluid through his jeans. "Kill something, just kill anything," he roared, leaving the car running as he ran into the pitch blackness of the forest. His fingernails were thickening, reforming as claws, brow reshaping, eyes dilating, revealing the forest in distinct and minute detail. Agony surged up his spine as the vertebrae popped and elongated. "Christ, I've got to be imagining this," he cried as a howl escaped his blackened lips. How strange a sound, he mused, but not as strange as the scent he now detected. He ran towards the distinct odor, screaming in agony as his jaw and nose started to punch out through his face, teeth reforming and reshaping into deadly white canines. I know that scent. The thought barely penetrated his consciousness as the last vestige of humanity died and the beast took control. His clothes were starting to split as he dug furiously into the ground, ripping away great clods of earth with massive claws. In his primal brain, he knew he was salivating, but didn't know why. He'd reached his meal. Then he detected another scent, his ears pricking up as he heard a second or two of static, and a voice saying, "Take the shot." The bullet hit him in the chest, driving the silver wedding ring deep into his heart. He fell atop the corpse of his wife to share one last wordless conversation, his clawed fingers scratching at the ground by her head as the flickering white lights of existence blinked out. If you enjoy my stories and videos, please savage that like button too within an inch of its life, then finish it off with a swift bite to the subscription button. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more nightmare geniusly scary content.